Hi, I'm Joni Patry and welcome to our Get Astrologic Now YouTube channel. And today I want to talk about a very important event, this solar eclipse, that is due to happen tomorrow, March 20th, 2015. This solar eclipse is going to happen in the nakshatra Uttara Bhadrapada. And Uttara Bhadrapada is the serpent of the deep. And what this is symbolizing is deep connection to our soul, to our essence of who we really are. So I want you to take great focus, and during this time I want you to pay attention to your dreams and the psychic awareness that's going to be coming to you, because that is basically what this nakshatra is all about. It brings up the things from our past, and it brings up things that we need to know that we can make better changes in our life. So this is a profound nakshatra that this eclipse is occurring in. Another thing I want you to know is that whenever we have the new moon in Pisces, that is going to be the chart for the whole year. It's called the Vedic New Year. And with that one chart, you can basically tell what the whole year will be about, all the way to the next new moon in Pisces. So Pisces is the beginning of the zodiac in Vedic astrology. So it's similar to the Aries chart that Western astrologers look at to depict how the whole year is going to be. But this, we take into account the new moon that occurs in Pisces. So this eclipse is the new moon that we look at for the yearly chart to tell us all about the year. And that's unusual. We generally do not have eclipses that occur on the chart that depicts the whole year. But here's what's really interesting and how you can use eclipses. In order to see where things are going to be happening in the world, well, first of all, you can see where the eclipse is most visible, and that place on Earth is generally where the most havoc or the chaotic events happen that are indigenous to eclipse energy. So that's one way to see where the light really shines from the eclipse. But the other way is if you take the new moon chart, which, remember, a new moon is a solar eclipse when it's with Rahu. When you take this chart and you put in the longitude and the latitude for different countries, then you're going to find how this is going to affect every country. So the chart in and of itself, the planets will all be the same degrees, but they will fall in different houses according to the longitude and latitude that you put in for where you want to see how this energy is going to affect different countries. So I put it in for the United States, which is Washington, D.C., and we have the eclipse, which is with Uranus, K2. It's a K2 eclipse with the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon are 5 degrees of Pisces, and K2 is 15 degrees Pisces, and we have Uranus and Mars all in the sign of Pisces. This will occur in the 3rd house of the United States chart. So what is that about? It's going to be all about communications. And this could also indicate with Uranus discoveries such as technological discoveries and advancements this year with, more the telephones and more advancement in inventions with all of the technical things that we have that's going to even get bigger and more advanced. That's what's going to happen here in the United States. Plus, the other aspect is the 3rd house deals with travel. So there's going to be some problems around travel this year. And the way that it works is, as this chart of the eclipse is frozen, when you look at where the transiting planets will come and cross over this eclipse degree, then this will be the time of big events that will happen. And in April, we're going to have Mercury come up and cross over all these degrees that we have of Uranus, K2, Mars, and the sun and the moon. when that happens, when Mercury crosses over that 5-degree mark where the eclipse sort of like sets the sensitive point, and it's kind of like a landmine. When a planet crosses over the eclipse points, and remember, we look at those eclipse points as like a landmine, events happen. So it's going to be in April when Mercury crosses over these planets. This will have to do with something with education and learning, which is a third house matter, that this will come, and we're going to have new colleges, new schools, more education. But when Mercury hits it, something will happen, and that's in April. So also, when we're looking at the landmine area, I also want you to know that 6 months later, we'll have another solar eclipse, and that will trigger all of these events concerning the third house matters. So if it's education and learning, it will also have to do with traveling. And I suspect there's going to be some pretty serious events concerning airplanes. And already it's been happening in the US. We've had an array of near misses and problems with airlines. So there could be a fatality before the next eclipse, which happens in 6 months. So that's how you use eclipses. You can look at any country. And one country I did look up, I wanted to know if any of these planets fell in the 8th house for any country. And I found China. So China, Hong Kong, Shanghai, this array of planets will end up in the 8th house. And one other thing I might mention about Uttara Bhadrapada, and that is, it is the end of the funeral cot. So Purva Bhadrapada is the front portion of the funeral cot, and Uttara Bhadrapada is the latter part of the funeral cot. Because remember, Purva means before and Uttara means latter. So this has to do pretty much with death and endings. So there could be some major events that could happen in China, possibly with earthquakes or things like that. And this would most likely occur during the time from the solar eclipse to the lunar eclipse, which remember will happen on April 4th. So this 2-week period in between the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse is going to be very, very chaotic, and things around the world are going to get crazy. And they already are. I think yesterday I was watching the news, and there's so many shootings everywhere. People just go crazy during eclipses. So I always call it the eclipse season, when we have like 2 weeks before the solar eclipse and 2 weeks after the lunar eclipse. So basically, we're looking at about 6 weeks that everything becomes really intense and people start to go crazy. And this is happening in Pisces, which is a water sign, which will have to do with severe weather, storms, and things where people could have drownings and those effects. So with that, I want you to pay attention anytime we have eclipses, because this energy is so intense when we have the sun and the moon come together with either Rahu or Ketu, and it creates world chaos. And be calm, pay attention to your inner insights, and always pay attention during this 2-week period to your dreams, because that is how we truly can connect to our subconscious mind that reveals so much information. And I want you to write down your dreams. Here's a little technique before I close. At the time of the solar eclipse, which is tomorrow, you can start writing down your dreams every night. And the way you can do that is get a glass of water, take half of the glass of water right before you go to bed, and say out loud that you will remember your dreams and you will get the answers to whatever your problems are now. And when you awaken, get out a pad, write down your dreams, and finish the glass of water. And this will give you the information. Things that have been secret are always revealed in the darkness of the eclipses. So many secrets in the next 2 weeks will be revealed worldwide, but remember, you can take this personally in your own life, and this will give you answers. And with that, I'd like to close. If you'd like a reading, you can go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Thank you.